Watch me flex my flow, you'll be the next to know. Spit it hot flambeau, swing them bars like whoa. Grab the remote control, must have called a million times, I'm on the other side, hello. Better watch that stream, caught up in the tractor beam. Scrub that beat with bleach, so when I hit it, bro, I spit it clean. Burn it now, have to turn the furnace down. Y'all don't want this beef, I hit them with a holy cow. Hit them with the verse, got them thinking, wow. This ain't a game, kid, why you play around? This that ill spit, them bars are so sick. I'll shock the whole world, anaphylactic. Every single time I spit another rhyme, the planets all align so bright I blind them with my shine. Bro, I'm designed to make your confidence decline. Every line about to blow like stepping on a landmine. Here we go. Here we go.
What is going on, everybody? We are live again, back-to-back weeks. Thank you for joining me. I know it is definitely a fun ride. I got to thank everybody for what transpired last night. As some of you may or may not know, this guy got 1 year older yesterday, and thanks to my beautiful wife, she put on a phenomenal party. We got to play some poker with all my friends and family, and I couldn't have asked for a better way to bring in another year. Definitely blessed to have a lot of great people in my life, and taking the time to come out in the middle of a snowstorm and brave the elements to party with this old guy. Lots of fun, and definitely have to thank everybody for all the great gifts and all that stuff as well. Definitely a good time losing some money at poker. Not happy who we lost it to, but whatevs. It is definitely a good time. You know what? Without you guys, it would definitely be a dull existence for sure. So, jumping into the RC stuff, as you guys may have seen, yesterday you guys had the sneak peek. I switched all my stuff over to the green because we got a CowRC.com special, you might want to say. We have this amazing special guest, and I'm like super stoked. I was lucky enough to talk to him a little bit before the start of the show, and to say that we had like one or two things in common is a huge understatement. This guy actually is into a lot of cool things. I'm sure you guys are going to be blown away by what he has to share with us. Not only is he on the exact same team as me with CowRC, one of my first sponsors, by the way, he is just into a lot of cool. Right now, it's all the crawling stuff. I'll kind of let him talk to exactly what he's into, but his knowledge of product and his ability to pull off some epic content is stellar. Like, he puts in the work, and the amount of stuff that you guys have seen from this guy, you probably don't even know. Most of the stuff that I share from CowRC are from all the team pages and stuff like that, and he is a huge reason why that team is so strong and such a fun part. Like, I love being a part of that team just because of the content. When I wake up and I see notifications from the CowRC team, I know it's going to be good content. I know it's going to be awesome to see. I know it's somebody showcasing some of the product. It's definitely a win-win being on that team. Yeah, John, no, honestly, you guys got lucky getting home before all the bad snow squalls and wind started to hit. It was funny because we actually had a trail back and forth from the garage to the house. Everybody having their cheer and definitely having a good time, keeping it quiet-ish for the neighbors, but definitely good to see you guys all coming out, like I said. So, who is this special guest? He's kind of sitting back here in the wings, and we're going to bring him on just so he can explain to you what it's like to be part of this CowRC team. So let me bring him on board. Without further ado, here we go. going on? Size Matters RC. Welcome to the show, bud.
Thank you very much for having me. Thank you very much for that introduction. It was very humbling, and I appreciate it very much.
No problem. But obviously, looking at the setup, it's mighty dialed. It looks amazing, and I love seeing the CowRC magnetics up front and center, and also all the other cool products you got in the wings there. You wanna jump in and say how you got onto the team?
Yeah, so we'll start from the beginning. Another teammate of ours, Travis Klein, we met through social media. He was doing a CowRC giveaway, and our first product was a CowRC magnetic mat, Pro Mag mat. And we won that giveaway, and we got the mat. I was super, super impressed with it, and went right on the website, started cruising around and seeing what else Cow had to offer, and started a shopping spree. Buying a couple products at a time, testing them out, seeing how I liked them, if they met what standards I had for products, and everything exceeded my expectations. And then soon after that, I was doing my normal posts on Instagram and Facebook, and caught the eye of CowRC. Had a talk with them, kept posting, kept doing the work. Was lucky enough to join the team, and it just took off from there. And my love for CowRC has just grown since then, and the product line has also grown since then, especially recently with the drop in the new website, the new swag, things like that. And here we are. It's not a long story, but it's a good story. And I still have my original mat that I got from Travis Klein. It's sticker bombed at this point. It's actually over here. It's covered with some things, so I'm not going to show it. But we went from, a large Pro Mag mat to what I'm sitting in front of now, which is 7 feet of, it's triple layer hybrid magnetic mat with the screw catchers and parts trays, and I have my workstation, and then my partner over here, John, who also runs Size Matters with me. He's usually sitting right here, and this is his workstation, and we get a lot of work done out here.
It looks like you guys are getting a lot of work done, and I gotta say, with the magnetics, everybody has been through the Ross Racing pits a time or two, and you guys know how difficult it can be when you're racing off-road in the conditions we run, and we definitely love the magnetics, because when you're working on grass, if you were to drop a screw into the blades of grass, geez Louise, never a good thing. So having these magnetic mats have definitely been a game changer for me and the family, and it was definitely good for sure. So first question coming in, that is a good question. What's your go-to CowRC product, and what's the one product you've got to have in your arsenal?
All right, so this is a hard one. I'm gonna give this a two-parter, okay? So there's a magnetic mat is my number one answer, for both on the shop and on the go, and this is why. In the shop, you can get a magnetic mat in almost any size you want. He will do custom sizes, and he has preset sizes. And there are all different styles. If you go on CowRC.com and check out the magnetic mat section, there is an abundance of styles, sizes. It's amazing. The reason why I say this is my go-to for in the shop and out is they also come in sizes like this and like this and something as simple as this. And for example, this one actually sits in my carry-all backpack at all times. It slips in the back of my backpack, and I always have it with me. This has saved my rear so many times because we're not always crawling at competitions with a pit table and a setup. Sometimes I'm crawling in the woods down the street and I'm on the trail and something breaks. I can throw this down on the ground on the trail and not have to worry about losing a screw. So I feel like the mat is just a great all-around product because you can get it in so many sizes and so many different areas. Like I can keep one in my truck, I can keep one in my backpack, and then I can have 7 feet of it on my shop at home. My other go-to in the shop and on the go, because I'll put these actually in a plastic baggie and put them in my backpack, hide wipes. They're not just for RC. A lot of these products, it's funny. I use CowRC on so many things, and we'll go over this as we go over the products. I use Cow for so many other things, but hide wipes. I keep these all over the place. I have them in the shop. I have them in Ziploc baggies in my truck, in my backpack. Anything you get dirty, these things will clean, and they smell great. Even if you get, like, I have a camper, and I go camping a lot. The hitch ball on the camper has to be greased. And every once in a while, I'll accidentally touch it, and I'll get that grease on my hand. It's super sticky. It's disgusting. I go to my truck. I grab a hide wipe. It wipes it right off, and I smell great afterwards. So those are like my 2 go-to products because they easily go with me no matter where I go. And Adam has them here. They're big wipes.
Yeah.
One side's abrasive. They're fantastic.
Yeah, and what we like, as some of you guys know, locally in Canada, we have been eliminated from using particular products, aerosols, indoors for our on-road racing. So the side that has the non-abrasive texture on the hide wipes is amazing for actually cleaning the scubba off of the tires and giving you that maximum amount of grip without having to worry about carrying aerosols. So you're always wondering why these are in the plates. There's so many useful things that you can do with these things. I use it to wash my hands in between rounds because I don't like having the tire dope on my hands and all sticky and this and that. So that is definitely one that I love to have in my arsenal. And like, honestly, I sound like a broken record to Craig. My pit mats, even if it's an indoor setting or an outdoor setting, the indoor setting, I do tend to go towards the flat mats, and I just use the parts tray to keep my screws and all that stuff in check. But for outdoor off-road, you've seen our setup whenever you roll through the Ross Racing pits. And like I said, swing by, check it out. But I definitely use the Screw Catcher XL mat. Love them. Fits the 8 scale perfectly. And it doesn't matter if you're dropping and fumbling. You're not going to lose those parts into the grass, the grassy knoll.
I'm just going to come up close to the camera. I had some drive shaft pins here, but they stick. This is vertical. They stick to the mat, and it's a white background. They stick out. You don't have a hard time finding them. It's magnetic. It's not magic. It's magnetic, and it really does. It works. So
I can see how that would be extremely important when you're at a crawling competition or out in a trail, because if you don't necessarily have your setup and you're working out of a backpack, you don't have extra everything. So if you lose something critical, you could be broke on the trail.
Oh yeah, and not to make this a long story, but we go to USTE in Florida every year. It's in Gainesville, Florida. We're going again this year, but last year my truck broke on the trail, and I was like 40 minutes into a trail, and thank goodness I had my carry-all bag and I had my mat. and that is I have my hand tools with me. I have, and then I have a box that I keep all spare screws and, your major spare parts in, servos, gears, spare screws, things like that. I happen to lose one of these drive shafts because I did not put IC lock on it as I should have, and it fell out. And I had a spare one, so I flipped my truck over, put the mat on the ground, because guess what I did? I dropped the spare one that I had, and it landed on the mat. Had it not landed on the mat and I didn't have the mat, I would have had to take a 45-minute walk back to the truck and take the walk of shame.
Yeah.
So now
Definitely.
has rescue many times.
Sweet. So that's definitely a go-to thing for sure. So if we're just going to keep moseying on over, the next thing that's closest to you is one of my personal favorites, and especially not having one more over, the blaster.
Ah!
Oh, you know what? No, I didn't even see that until you knocked it off. I did not see the udder butter hidden there. I did not see it. There it is. But my favorite thing, I used to bring an air compressor, all the hookups and stuff like that, until I got me that blaster. And what a game changer that has been. Many of you guys have tested it out. You guys know I always leave it plugged in when we go to any of the bigger events, and a lot of people have come over and definitely utilized the CowRC blaster. And for on-road, it is amazing because it blows off all the residues of the carpet and rubber that builds up on the bodies and on the suspension components.
Yeah, you really don't understand how powerful they are until you get one and you're like, wow, okay, this is not a joke. Super, super powerful. So powerful that this has like a rubber tip on it. It gets warm because of the air pressure that it's pushing out. Super, super powerful. And this pairs great with CowRC's Move Clean. It's a parts and chassis wash, so we'll go over this in a minute, but you spray this on your rig, let it sit. You can use a brush and brush it, clean it, and then you just blow this, use this to blow it off, and your truck is spotless. And this blows everything off. This will dry your truck. Furthermore, as I said before, a lot of these products I use for many things, not RC related. This is fantastic for drying my motorcycle. It's fantastic for drying my full-size vehicle. If I have water droplets, in creases in the bottom of the windshield where I want to blow it out because I want to go in there in detail and I don't want to wait for it to air dry, I use this thing. And it's got a nice long cord on it. I love this thing. This gets so much use between RC and non-RC, it's ridiculous. I even blow out my garage floor with it. It's crazy.
That's a good one, because when I open the back door, I literally blow it out. Start at the one end, and I just blow. It's better than sweeping.
It is. And then you have something like this, which is CowRC's Jet Vac. So it's a vacuum, but it also blows like this. And it comes with a ton of attachments. It comes with a wall hanger. So I don't know if you saw me a couple seconds ago. It hangs here to my left, and I just put it over here and I hang it up, and that's where it lives. But I clean off my workstation with it. It depends on what's on my mat. If there's metal shavings, if I had to cut something, drill metal shavings, I will use the vacuum side of it because this is magnetic, so I have to vacuum it off. If it's dirt, dust, debris, then I flip it over and I use the blower and I blow off my workstation. So it's a great multi-use tool. Also great for your full-size vehicles. I use it to vacuum out my truck. It's their products really do cross into many other uses.
Yeah, absolutely. I really think that people didn't understand like the sheer strength of that. Had somebody come over and was just like kind of looking at it, testing it, and didn't realize that I run a, not a fake top, but obviously I run like an older mat on top of my good mats, and that way while I'm working and stuff like that, I always have my other mat. Well, when he turned on the blower, it actually was like, well, like trying to blow it off of the mat, and then he's like, "Holy crap!" He's like, "Yeah, this has definitely got some juice behind it." Mike saying that the blaster will take the skin off your bones. Yeah, it's got a lot of power, and the cool thing is, especially when you're at an event that's outdoors and exposed to the elements, mixed in with the chassis wash, which is another amazing product. You just give it a few squirts, let it agitate in, get the buildup off, hit it with the blaster, and you're right back to square one. Not only is that the 1-2 combo for outdoor off-road racing, it's really critical when you're in a rush between rounds and you want to inspect your vehicle to make sure that there's nothing wrong with it going into the next round. So,
absolutely,
wicked combo there. So, I don't know if you want to kind of go to the chassis wash next, because I know that it is definitely a good one to have.
So, I do not, and this is my fault. I do not have the new concentrate. So, I don't know if you want to explain that while I get the other one.
Yeah, for sure.
Full-size bottles. CowRC just changed something up on us.
Yeah, so what we used to have to do in the past was buy the gallons that he's showing you right there. What CowRC has done is they've actually thought of you, the customer, and taken it to a whole new level. Now, what does that actually mean? You're like, not really making any sense here. So you have a smaller container with concentrate in it now. So instead of paying to ship water, you are actually getting the concentrated mix, and the size of it is a 32. So it's about half the size of what Craig has in his hand now, but it makes up 2 of those minimum if you want to follow the mixture exact as it says on the package. Now, here's the cool thing. You don't have to follow what CowRC says. You can have it stronger or milder depending on what application use you prefer to use it on. Now, if it's something you're cutting through grease and grime and running nitro, I recommend the settings on the box. Now, if you want something a little bit more mild where you're just blowing off a little bit of dust, dirt, and debris, it's not bad to dumb it down a little bit, and you'll get more bang for your buck. It just depends on what you're actually focused on cleaning is what I would recommend to make that mix happen for you.
Yeah, what Heath has done is great for the consumer. I will tell you, I go through this literally like water. I have a ton of it, which is why I don't have the concentrate yet, because I have so much of this that I didn't need the concentrate, honestly. But this is amazing stuff. The fact that you do not need to use water, you can use water if you want to, especially for really, really, really dirty rigs. Every once in a while, I'll use a blast of water, but you spray this on, brush it off. For really dirty rigs, what I tend to do is I'll spray it on, brush it, let it sit for a minute. I'll spray it again with the Move Clean, and then I'll come in with the blaster and blow it off. And that seems to work really well for me. Besides the body, the chassis, and this working really well on that, to me, where this really shines is on tires. Especially, I don't know about you in your world of racing, but I know in my world of crawlers, this makes my tires sticky and like new again, and gives me that edge because my tires are now grippy. So before a comp, I'll actually spray my tires down and scrub them off and have them pretty much be like brand new sticky tires, like out of the pack. Stuff is amazing.
Not only is it amazing for the crawling, for us, we use it as well. So depending on the track surface and the conditions, what we do, we actually have a tire clean station. And what I'll do is I'll actually put the chassis clean in the station. And when the kids get done, we actually have a drill attachment just because we go through so many tires. But you just hit it with a drill, pat it down, just like grab like your CowRC cleaner, towel, whatever, pat it down, let it air dry, and it gives it that new shine, but it makes it a little bit more malleable, and it doesn't wreck the tire itself or any of the glue, which is so important, especially knowing me. I have a horrible time when it comes to gluing tires. So now that we switched over to the CowRC glue, we have not had a tire failure in a while, and it has been fantastic to say. Finally got my tire game on point. And you know what? Little secret there. I actually used the electronics cleaner from CowRC to get rid of the molding releasing agent from the beads of the tire. Yes, like not only is it good for electronics, it is fantastic for cleaning that bead around the tire, just to ensure that you're not gluing the molding releasing agent to the rim. You're actually doing the tire to the rim, and that has eliminated almost 95% of my failures. The last piece was the glue for sure.
So this stuff, great for electronics. It does pair with a couple other things we'll get into very well, such as conformal coating. Definitely want this if you're going to conformal coat something. But I actually use this for prepping my bodies for paint as well. It just checks off so many boxes. But as I say that, I do want to put a warning out there. If you are going to use anything that is out of an aerosol can, a spray can, on a Lexan body or even a hard body, you want to put it on like a microfiber cloth first before you apply it, because the aerosols can discolor your body. So just be forewarned, do not spray this directly on a body. It will ruin it, or can ruin it. I have sprayed it directly on bodies, not thinking, and I've been lucky. I've also sprayed it on one body and had it discolored. So just be forewarned. Do not spray it directly. Anything, whether it's a CowRC product or not, anything aerosol, depending on the propane, it can discolor your body. So just be careful with that. Adam, another thing that I was thinking about, I forget what you said that made my mind start, but all of these products are made and tested for RC. They are RC specific. So just keep that in mind as well. You know, especially when it comes to, when we get to it, the greases. A lot of myth is out there that any grease is fine or marine grease is fine. They're not made for RC. RCs are not marine vehicles. So just really think about what you're putting into your RC, especially if you're going to put a lot of time and a lot of miles on them. Think about what you're using. If you're using something that says marine grade on it, that's for a boat. This is an RC truck.
Yeah. I definitely like the new Utter Butter. We were only able to test it in the last 3 builds, and so far, just seeing how nicely it breaks in those new diffs. Obviously, all of ours are fluid-filled diffs, and they're all internal, front and rear. So for us to have that little added peace of mind and protection, it's next level. And what I like is there's multiple different ways to apply it. I like using the syringe personally, especially out at the track, because then I could just point and shoot. Yeah, exactly. Point and shoot and put it exactly where I need it. And I don't have to worry about it getting on my hands or anywhere I don't need it. Especially being able to get that perfectly lined up in the case, having that syringe type area, you're getting it right onto the gears where you need it most. Now, for the bigger tub that you have in front of you, it's definitely good when you're at home and you're building brand new kits and you're actually in the process of doing it right from the beginning. I like to do this when it's already exposed and before it's in the case and you only have a little gap. Now, when you have the little gap, the syringe is a huge bonus. But when you're actually doing it brand spanking new, I throw the grease out that comes with my kit and I actually start off with the good stuff. And I'll never turn back. It's been a blessing for us. Obviously, you guys seen we've never had any failures, and my kids definitely know how to do the durability montage.
Yeah, and just to hit real quick. So this is the new formula. It's like a beige color, beige tan color.
Yep.
This is a full tub. We actually have like 5 or 6 of these hanging around. This is the old formula. Just so you guys can see, I have a ton of vehicles in here, and they are all running CowRC Udder Butter. I still have half a tub left of the old formula because it lasts so well. Somebody like you who's racing, you probably go through it a little bit more. For us, it lasts almost infinitely, unless you know something happens where you know a diff cover leaks and you know moisture and water gets in there, and then I want to you know clean it out. It is waterproof, but if I notice water getting there, I take everything out because I don't like water sitting, no matter what. But the product, the old formula and the new formula, absolutely unbelievable, and it is specifically formulated for it's not going to plastics, it's not going to interact with your aluminum axles at all, it's not going to interact with brass at all. It is a pH product. It's just absolutely fantastic. I've never had an issue with it. I've never had it break down. Things like my LMT, where you know it gets a little warm. You know, your dips get warm. Everything gets hotter because you have that speed. It's not going to melt down and run out from your dip, your axles. It's going to stay where you want it. It's keep everything lubricated, keep that friction down, keep it down, and help your parts not wear free and have premature failure.
Yeah, and honestly, when you're in racing applications, it's all about the tight tolerances. It will shim our stuff tighter just to make sure that on heavy braking or heavy acceleration, we're not skipping gears. So to have that lubrication stay put is critical. And everybody's seen when I pull my diffs apart that it is still well lubricated and the fling off is not very relevant compared to the stock ones where I showed you guys with your kits and other type greases where it just sticks to the whole outside of the case everywhere but on the gear and the ring and the pinion gear where you need it most. So it's super it adheres to the parts where you put it, and not only does it stick to it and ensure that you have the protection where you need it, like Craig was saying, it will last as long as you need it to in between builds, that you won't have to really pull it apart unless you see something wrong. If you see something wrong, you still want to get in there, make sure you're going through it, checking it out, and doing the proper maintenance. Because let's face it, when you're out in a comp crawl or if you're out on the track, you want to make sure that your stuff is not going to fail you when you're in the mix of having fun. If you have a failure on the track or on the course, it takes the winds out of your sail, and you want to make sure that if you properly maintain that before you get out there, the chances of you finishing and having fun are going to be escalated. And that's what it's all about, man. If we're not out there having fun with our rigs and our kits, what the heck are we doing this for? So you want to make sure if you see that little hint of evidence, it's always good just to crack it open, take a peek. It could be for nothing, but you know what? Preventive maintenance is the absolute best maintenance I can recommend.
Absolutely. And just to touch on that, RTRs. If you buy whether it's a car or a buggy or anything that is going to be RTR. Always check whether it has portals, check the diff, check everything for proper greasing. Because I've seen brand new trucks come from the factory missing grease. And 2 months later, you're going to wonder why something's breaking or something's clicking or something's not working properly. You're going to open up your diff or your portal. You're going to go, oh, this is broken. Take it apart. The day you bring that out of the box, just pop the covers, check them out. And if they're dry, put this in there. You don't have to worry about it.
Now, I know for me personally, I've never really had to experience the ready to runs. Definitely wondering, if you get it ready to run, do you clean out all the old grease first and then apply the udder butter, or it doesn't mix well, correct?
So typically, I will clean it out. That is my preference, just because I tend to think that, and this is not bad on anybody at all, but the greases that they're using are inferior to what I'm going to put in. And I don't want them mixing. So if there's any grease in there at all, because I've seen more dry dips and portal gears than I have seen properly greased. So I always take everything apart. I completely clean it. I use Moo Clean, and I'll actually use the electronics cleaner to really get in there as well. So I use this, and then I'll use this. I know it's electronics cleaner, but it does a really, really, really good job of doing that final like dry cleaning with a rag. And then I'll go back through and I'll throw the udder butter on. Just because I want to know that the job's done properly, and if something breaks, I know I gave it my best shot. I didn't leave anything inferior in there. I went through it. I checked the gears before I put it back together, because not for nothing, these, no matter what you buy, they're all built on a factory floor, right? In a warehouse. Somebody could have missed something. You could be missing a portal gear. You could have a portal gear that's damaged. I want to know that everything is copacetic and perfect before I bring it out on the trail. So I totally strip everything and put it back together. One, I know everything is in working order. Two, I know that I know that I'm not going to have a problem. You get what I'm saying?
It's protected as best as you possibly can.
Yeah, I just want to give it the best chance to run as long as possible and as what's the word I'm looking for? Man, I'm having a hard time right now. Yeah.
Like, well, basically what he's trying to say is, like, if you have a ready to run and you don't go through it, you're basically decreasing your chances of it being 100% reliable. Now, if you actually take time, if you take the time, to maintain it and do the, like we were talking about earlier, and being preventive maintenance instead of reactive, you're gonna have more out of your experience. And honestly, the reason why I asked is because all of mine start fresh with the CowRC goodness, because I'm building brand new kits. I already told you I take the little syringe of whatever grease they throw in the kits for free. It's free for a reason. I just donate it or give it away or garbage, whatever. And I always push people to using the good stuff, because it's not worth the risk of having premature wear or something fail out on the field if you can give it its best fighting chance. I'm not saying that CowRC is going to guarantee your stuff's not going to break. Let's face it, we're putting these things through hell out on the trails. Some of the rock crawls are insane now to scale, and no one-to-one vehicle would be able to crawl what these guys are trying to traverse. And it's cool to see that they're able to do it with the scale rigs up top. Now, I zoomed in so you can see how many Craig is actually showing off. So the amount of utter butter that you get in this tub is enough to do an arsenal of RCs. One tub will do more than a full season racing 3 vehicles. So if you're worried about it not lasting and bang for the buck, I'm telling you right now that you've seen the whole season going through, and I have only gone through 2.5 syringes total. And you guys know that when the team gets together and they say you got to do the dip change and this and that, I'm not shy. I'm going to do it, and I'm going to do it with the good stuff because I want it to last. So I know Craig was doing some counting there, but I lost track at 10. So what's the damage there?
So out here, there's 15, and that's 15. It's half a tub. And have portals, so it's in portals as well as dips and transmissions, and a little bit goes a long way. You don't need a lot of it. It's so you talk about bang for your buck. This is one of those things that, like you said, preventative maintenance. What you spend on one tub to cover as many vehicles that are out here, this is one dip. Like one broken dip, you could have just bought a tub of this and possibly prevented. Like Adam said, it's not guaranteed that your parts aren't going to still break, because depending on what you're doing with your truck, how your truck's tuned, especially in crawling, if your brake is set high and you give it full throttle and you just slam on the brake, you're going to break a dip. It's going to happen.
Yeah.
So this is not going to prevent that. That's just user error, and things happen, right? I've done it. It happens. But from regular running, this is totally worth what you're going to spend on it, because it's preventative maintenance. This is the cost of one diff in these 15 trucks. I couldn't imagine having to replace parts in all of these trucks. Since I've been using this, I haven't had anything prematurely break on me. Have I had things break? Yeah. What was it from? Me.
Yeah.
Me or the terrain. And usually if it's the terrain, it's me having this, send it moment,
Yeah, so, we were talking about this earlier. You're not going to get hurt, so you can definitely go full send on the weekend and still make it to work on Monday.
Exactly.
So I know we got a few more things to talk about, and one of the things that I definitely needed, and Heath hooked me up, is the one that you just put in front, the formal. Geez Louise, the formal has been a godsend. As you know, I live in Canada. We get this white crap that falls down from the sky called snow. We got it yesterday on my birthday, and boy, oh boy, what a blessing to have this stuff. Now, I thought you were going to segue into it when you're talking about the electronics cleaner, because it is so important to have your electronics clean prior to using the formal, because the formal is going to waterproof and give your electronics the best chance of survival. I'm not saying jump it into a pool. I'm not saying drive it through a lake. But what I am saying is, if you get caught out in a little bit of rain or a little bit of snow or elements like what we have here in Canada, you will give your electronics the absolute best chance of survival. Because let's face it, we still want to have fun when the weather isn't at its peak. And this gives you the opportunity to continue doing that. So
being in the crawler world, my TRX4 that's up over here, you guys, I think it's actually out of that is I will send it through anything from.
Nice.
All of my electronics, my receiver, I took the box apart, I took the board out, I cleaned it with the clean electronics cleaner, and then I applied the conformal coating. This conformal coating is still 3/4 of a bottle. A little bit goes a long way. You do not need a huge bottle of this stuff. It's fantastic.
Yeah.
So what I do is I'll clean. Let's take a receiver for instance. I'll clean my receiver with this. I will
Yep.
apply, let it dry, and then for my TRX especially, what I'll do is for my plugs that are plugging into my receiver, I'll put dielectric grease around them.
Nice.
To try to waterproof it as much as possible because that truck gets submerged. And I have been very lucky. Is this going to make it completely waterproof? No, absolutely not. Nothing is completely waterproof when you're talking about RC products. It's just impossible. The receiver boxes get full of water. The plugs plug into the receiver. They get water on them. That's why I put dielectric grease on them to try to prevent that. But it's still not 100% foolproof. You have to know what to expect if you get your truck in condition. I know there's a good probability that something's going to break, but willing to accept that to try to get some content and some fun. But for your normal wet condition, you're running in snow, wet, muddy terrain, this is absolutely going to prevent your electronics from prematurely drying out from moisture. It is absolutely a wonderful product. I wish I could show you the way it goes on is actually satisfying. It's called conformal coating. It conforms to everything, so it's fun to put on. Actually, watch it settle into everything on the electric on the circuit board. It is one of my favorite products. And going back to that first question, what is your one staple? It's hard to pick because I need this. And this is another staple in my garage. Like, I could not run my trucks the way I run them without a product like it. So it sounds cliche, but the entire lineup really is my go-to, must have, because everything is for a purpose and does its job.
Yeah, and this is going to kind of segue into our giveaway. We actually have a CowRC $50 giveaway that we're going to do on the show. And basically what we're looking for is some kind of cow-related comment. So it's got to be something cow-related, something funny, and we'll pick it at the end of the show. But what I have up right now on the screen is the cow formal silicone. And for $16, you can protect quite a few electronics. And like I showed you how much I have left of mine, I have waterproofed probably 10 receivers now and 2 ESCs just to make sure that I give it the best fighting chance that I possibly can. When you're spending $250 on an ESC, you want to make sure you're protecting it as good as you can. And for an extra $16, that's cheap insurance in my book.
Absolutely, especially because it's not $16 for one rig. It's $16 for, I don't know how many, honestly, because I've done probably, I have over half a bottle left. So for $16, I mean, just for a cheap receiver is $16 for like a cheapo. So, I mean, it's worth it. And all these products, they all serve a purpose. And it's preventative maintenance. Going to completely prevent something from going wrong? No, but it is going to give it a hell of a chance.
It's the best 1-2 punch going. And not only that, like, they have everything that you could possibly need to maintain your entire arsenal. Now, look at the kits that he has behind him. And you can tell that he's serious. And each one looks like it's beautifully clean, prepped, ready to go back out on the trail. And it's because of the CowRC products that makes it easier to maintain multiple rigs. And obviously, you have options of getting the bigger size stuff that they offer, or all the way down to the micro size. So if you only have one or two RCs, then basically you can get the smaller amounts, and like the syringes will last you just as long. I was telling you how long my syringes lasted on the disc, and the amount that I use with the eyelets and other applications. The things that we're talking about today is just touching on a few things, because there's so many uses for all the content that's sitting on his table. It's mind-boggling. I use it for when I'm building shocks, just because I don't want to scratch anything going in when the threads pass through the little O-rings. There's so many applications that you can use for each item. We could be talking for hours here. Oh, next weekend you better. Oh my gosh! You better hope you bring your A game there, Chris Gertie. He's trying to tell me to move over when we're racing next weekend. Oh, buddy. All right. I hope you have your neon lights on, because if you're not going to be fast, you might as well look good doing it. Let's see. Here we go. So Matt says, save your RCs from going out to the pasture with the selection of CowRC. It will keep you moving. I like it. Moving.
That's a good one. And I don't know if you said what it was. It's $50 on the website. So it's $50 towards your order on the website.
Okay, there you go. $50 towards your order on the CowRC.com website. And if you guys don't know, obviously everybody that's on right now, but if you're going to be watching in the future, check it out. I share all of the new content. They just launched their new website, and it is phenomenal. A lot more user-friendly. They got new graphics. They got new sticker kits. They got new skins. They got a plethora of new garb. Yeah, like the shirts now, the whole theme. You can have your blaster, your dot boxes, your mats. Everything can now match up and be 100% dialed. Literally, the sky is the limit. And just reach out if you have any custom stuff you're interested in getting into. I'm telling you, the customer support is second to none. He will go out of his way to ensure that he gets exactly what you're talking about. He takes the time to design stuff specifically for what you're requesting, and he does that out of the kindness of his heart, because honestly, I've never seen it. Normally, you go to a site, you only get what they give you. Here, he wants to make sure that your experience and what you're trying to build and your vision for your brand or whatever you're trying to do, he will help you accomplish that. And that is honestly a blessing just in as itself. A few more things while we got the comments rolling in. Threadlocker. Threadlocker is an unsung hero. I think that a lot of people miss the mark on that bad boy.
So this is hilarious, because I'm sure you pay attention to my activity in the fan page as well as our team page. I post the Threadlocker a lot. And the reason why is, like you said, it's the unsung hero. And they have a couple different variations. My two favorite are the purple and the blue. Depending on what I'm working on and the size of my hardware is going to depend on what I use. The purple is a looser hole, and the blue is a medium hole. The purple I find is fantastic for your super small hardware, especially in like your 24th, 18th crawler sizes. This is great for all your hardware. Any metal-to-metal connection, this is what you're going to want to use it for. The blue, 10th scale, 5th scale, your bigger hardware, fantastic for that. Wheels, if you have a set of wheels, aluminum wheels, brass, anything that's metal to metal, you need this, because when your hardware starts to back out of your screws or out of your wheels, and you lose one on a trail, good luck getting a replacement, especially for some of these wheels, especially with the bead locks that have 30 screws, and They're a specific type of screw. You don't have any pairs of those. So now your truck's just going to be missing a screw forever because you're not going to have a replacement. Put this on it. When you build them and you put them together, and forget about it and don't worry about it. And the great thing is a lot of people get shy from using thread locker because there's that feeling of, oh, well, I'm going to need to use heat to get it off, or it's going to be stuck. I'm not going to be able to get it off. These are soft and medium holds. They come out pretty easily with regular tools. It's just a little bit of hold to stop them from backing out. It's not like red thread locker or green thread locker where you have to heat it up to get it off because it's like concrete. This is not what that is. This is just giving you that little edge to hold that hardware in place so it doesn't come out under normal use. So don't worry about thread locking hardware that, oh, well, when I maintain my truck next week, I'm going to have to take that screw out. It'll be fine. It's going to be fine. Another segue into another product.
Okay.
The electronics cleaner. No matter what I'm doing. So if I have a brand new set of wheels, they may have an oil on them to prevent corrosion during shipping or during storage in the warehouses. I spray this on everything that I'm going to thread lock before I thread lock it to get those greases off and to make sure that I get a good bonded connection between the threads and the hardware that I'm screwing it into. Because if you have grease on there or oils, this is not going to adhere very well and you're not going to get that good connection. It pretty much will never dry and do what it's supposed to do. It's never going to harden up if it has oil and grease on it. So another use for the Move Clean electronics cleaner. Just it really is an all-around great product.
Oh, great. Hey, Greg, I know you're late checking in, but if you have anything Move related or CowRC related, hit me up with a good one-liner, and you have a shot at a $50 gift card that can be used on the CowRC.com website. Basically, we got a few coming in here. Matt so far has the win. I like his so far the best, but I know Jeff usually waits towards the end. He's a thinker, so we'll see what he can come up with. And I don't know. I told Tammy that it might not be nice if we win that because she's pretty quick-witted too. But I told her, I said, put it up there just to have some fun with it. But definitely a good time. So we were also kind of talking about the new website. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull it up here and just kind of show it off real quick. And so this is the Jetmaster and the back that he had on the side there. But this is basically the new setup. And it is so user-friendly. Obviously, you got the pit mat specials, which are the older ones. You got the hybrid mats, which is my absolute favorite now because there are so many options in that. They also have the work mats, which I told you are our go-to ones for off-road because they actually have the screw catcher, which is very important to me when I'm doing it in the grass. The storage systems, I know that's the only thing he didn't have on his bench, but these dot boxes, you guys have come and asked me for screws, and the reason why I'm able to get them for you in a very quick and timely manner is because of these dot boxes. This keeps you organized to the next level, and let's face it, when they're 0.5 millimeters increments in all the little different types of screws, you want to make sure you keep those well labeled. And the old style ones that I had, you guys seen, if you mess that up, they're a mess all over. These being individual dots that are sealed individually, if one's open, you're only going to spill the one. Hopefully you have it over top of your magnetic mat. If not, you only have to worry about the one. The rest of the dots are closed independently, which is huge, especially when you're out at the track. And like I said, guys, this is just a small portion of what they have to offer out on their website. definitely check it out. You guys know that I've been a huge follower and fan of the CowRC products, not only because I'm part of the management team and have been blessed with an awesome sponsorship, but because the stuff works. You guys know I've called out other sponsors. You guys know I call a black cat a black cat. I'm not scared and shy. I'm not getting any kickbacks from this show. I'm doing it just because I like hanging out with you guys, and it has definitely been sick. How long have you been sponsored by CowRC? Oh, yeah, Craig, that is a good question. We didn't even ask you that. I apologize for that. Thanks, babe.
So I honestly, it's over a year. Over a year, I've been sponsored by Cow. I want to say, I honestly do not know exactly how long because I don't pay attention to that. I would actually like to go back and see when my first post was as a team driver because I do not know that, but I know it is over a year that I've been with CowRC, and it's been a crazy ride. And I've been lucky enough that I'm actually now management with Adam, and it just.
It's been awesome, but it was May 9th, 2001.
That's yours?
No, yours. That's when you got added to the team. Was May 9th, 2001.
2021.
Yeah. 2021. I'm sorry. Yeah, 21. Yes, you're right. Yeah, May 9th. Yeah, 21. Sorry. Yes, I forgot the 2 in there. Yes, definitely. May 9th, 2021. And the thing that you sent me was awesome. Like the story, you were so hyped about it. It was definitely awesome to see for sure. So Matt has another one here. Let's see those one-liners, everybody. Yeah, take the bull by the horns for that chance to win $50 from CowRC. See what I did there? You are funny. So let's see. Well, babe, yeah, we basically already covered that. She wanted to know what we can't go without. But honestly, if there is truly one thing, I would have to say it's by far the mats. They have helped save me so many times in between rounds that you guys know what it's like, especially when you're at a bigger event and you only have minutes in between rounds to get your car back together. If you drop anything, oh my God, those mats will come in clutch, keeping it away from the dreaded grass. I can't say it enough how fast grass eats up a little small metal piece. You think you're going to find it, and oh my God, it's gone. But yeah, the mats are definitely my fave all time. Craig, what's yours, bud? Was it the mats too, I think?
I do agree. I think especially for a first timer into the CowRC realm, I think it is important to get the mat first, especially because you can cover so many bases with the mats. You could start off with something small, see how you like it, see how it operates and how it works, and then move into something like this. And if you weren't watching earlier and you didn't hear me say it, this entire table is a magnetic CowRC mat. It's 7 feet of magnetic mat. They're hybrid mats. This is one layer. There's I'll see it. I don't want to lift it too high because there's stuff on it, but there's a base mat, then a mat on top, and then on top of that, I have parch trays. So you can stack them, you can move them wherever you want. Like this parch tray that I have in the middle here that I keep all my picks and hooks on, you can move it and I can put it right here if I want. So if I'm working on a truck here and I don't want to keep reaching over, I take my tools, put them in front of me and keep working. It's totally customizable from the size to the actual physical layout. I can move this however I want, depending on what I'm working on. It is an absolutely fantastic system. And like I said, this size, especially for on the go in my backpack, my carry-all backpack, this is amazing. I've used this thing more times than I can tell you. And it's like you said earlier, it's not because we're team drivers. It's not because we have such a good relationship with CowRC. It's because we're here because the products work. Because we found the products before we became drivers. We used them before we became drivers.
Yeah.
There's a reason why we use them. Because they work and because they're reliable. And because the company is so reliable. The customer service. Heath is just amazing. But yeah, this is my win.
Nice. Now, this one has been on my wish list for some time. And it's funny because she's heard me talk about it. I'm not sure if you can read this one, but she likes the blaster, but wants to know if there's any plans on a cordless rechargeable one. And I honestly not 100% sure. I know he sent us that joke of that big ass one from the SEMA show 2022, but for realistically to have the type of power that the blaster produces in a cordless form, I don't see it coming, but I could be surprised. You never know.
I haven't heard anything about that, and I have never seen anything like that. I haven't seen anything that would harness that much power in a rechargeable form. And it's one of those things where you kind of have to experience one of these to see how much power they have. Like, if I plug this in and turned it on right now, it would fly off the table if I turned it on.
It's awesome.
Like, you really have to experience one. They are extremely powerful.
Nice. Now, one of the things that I did want to ask was, you're doing a lot of the multimedia stuff for CowRC and the new quick videos. That, like, honestly, dude, I love those ones. Those are my favorite because it's quick and to the point, and it's just hilarious, man. Like, what was your inspiration for doing the videos over your normal content?
A conversation with Heath, honestly. He had, I guess, tried to do videos in the past, and I guess they just never really took off. And I was going to try to make longer videos for him.
Okay.
Really over product for a longer period of time and put them on YouTube. And then one day I was like, you know what? I'm just going to do a couple shorts to see if this is something that he's interested in or if I'm going in the right direction.
Yep.
And it kind of just stuck with me because so well. And it feels good to just get the pertinent information over in, like, within 3 minutes. So
yes,
I'll come up with the Cow Blaster. I give you, what it's for, what it does, where to get it, how to get it, and that's it, And with the Jet Blaster, I added a little bit of fun in there, and I blew myself, awesome. And
yeah, honestly, and I like it because you can share that content, and it's such a small thing. It keeps the flows going, and it's such a cool little thing. To me, it's like a short almost, and that's what captures the audience's attention for sure.
Yeah, and they're actually connected to the website, to the products now. So
nice.
It is cool that he used it for that. That's not what I intended it for, but I guess they did pretty well. I'm going to continue doing it, and I'm going to try to hit every product. I think I'm actually almost caught up with all the products at this point. Nice. And it's just been fun, honestly, because it doesn't take long. They're usually one-take shorts, and it's 2 or 3 minutes of just me babbling about a product, and we see how it goes.
Yeah, so you said that it's on the sites, right? So yeah. I'm going to see, because we just got a request here, and I want to play the Jet Blaster one. Let me see if I can pull that up.
It should be there. I don't know if they're all up there yet.
It's loading right now.
On the R page.
On the what page?
On the, I believe it's on the factory team page, and I believe it's on the fan.
Oh, so it's not on the actual CowRC website.
It could be. It could be. I don't know. Yeah.
So I can definitely do this. So I can bring it up on the factory page. I just got to make sure I don't show anything I'm not supposed to. So I will go to something specific first.
Yeah, that one was actually fun to make, and that one was in my head for a while. And there was actually a couple of days I came out here and I was like, oh, I gotta make that video. Oh, I gotta make that video. And the one day I was like, I'll just make it today, and finally did it.
Yeah. So let's see here. We got. Okay, I got it. So let's see if I can make it full screen first.
This was a fun one.
Yeah. So we got the video. Oh, you know what?
I mean, I've been in a bathtub full of moo clean.
That dude, that is still one of the best ones to share. That was awesome that you created that content. I'm not gonna lie. All right, so check out the new website, CowRC. So, did you upload it to the? Because well, here I'm gonna bring it on screen so you can see it. But basically, this is the video for the hide wipes. So I gotta be close here. I'm just gonna hide it so I don't show anything off.
Yeah, it's definitely, if you're on the factory team page, it is definitely on there, and that one was more recent.
That was the more recent one?
Yeah.
So that was that. Dude, you got some awesome content. I just got to say, because I'm scrolling through just what you post, and definitely has some cool stuff.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
So there's that. That was the. That's when you did the slick. It's that one. So oh, that's a cute one. That's you and your daughter working on your rig. Huh.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering, Jeff, he says that the jet vac page in the website. So we got the jet vac.
Found it?
Oh yeah. No, that's yes. Okay, I got it. All right, here we go. Okay, I'm gonna add it to the stream, and this is basically one of his quick shorts here. So we'll play this.
What's up, everybody? Craig from Size Matters RC, CowRC Factory Team. Coming at you with another video. Today we're going to be talking about the jet vac. This thing's monstrous. And it does two things. So first of all, it's a vacuum. And second of all, it's a blow. So this thing is so useful. I use it for to blow off my motorcycle, just like I do the Jet Blaster. I use it for my full-size truck to vacuum out. The hose that they give you, I'll go over that in a second, is
way long enough. The cord is way more than long enough to get a good reach, especially to vacuum out a full-size vehicle. As for RC applications, this is fantastic. One, the blower works great. So if you're just using, say, Moo Clean to wipe down your rig, to spray down your rig, you could blow it off with that. If you want the vacuum part, if you have built up dust, mud, debris that gets caked in little hard to reach corners, before you spray it with your Moo Clean, what I do is they have an adapter that goes to a smaller vacuum piece with brush attachments. So I get in there and I clean it really, really well.
I'll come back through with the Move Clean, spray it down, and then I'll take the blower part of this and blow it off. So all in one function, I can vacuum all the little hard to get to places and then blow it dry. It does come with replaceable vacuum bags. Okay, they go in the end here. So just take the 2 clips off, goes in there, clips back on, and this is going to be your vacuum end. This is your blower end. It also does come with a bunch of attachments, couplers for the hose, a small attachment to get high pressure air, brushes for the large size, little carpet brushes, obviously the little one, and then your typical, let's get this off of the hose here, typical one here. And then the hoses it comes with are extremely long. So this is 2 hoses. You can either use one or both together, and you get more than enough room or length to have more than enough room to do a full-size vehicle. I use it for everything. I blow off my pit area if I have dirt, debris, stuff like that from working and wrenching on a rig. I just take this blower, it's gone. Super, super powerful. And for the price point, it's heavy. It is a great piece of machinery for your shop. It also comes with a hanger, so you can actually hang it vertically on your wall and the feet actually lock in. So you can store it that way, or like we do in the shop, I leave it plugged in into an outlet that's right underneath the or right above the hanger, and it's always accessible. So I can just grab the hose because it's plenty long enough, walk to the table, blow it off or vacuum it, whatever I'm doing, and boom, done. Available on CowRC.com. Go get yourself one.
I thought that we were going to get the special blow-by one. In one of the videos that he did, he actually had it blowing. Oh, it was for the blaster.
It was for the. So
yeah, it was definitely good.
To save you some time, I'm just going to plug it in right now, and we're just going to do it live. Why not?
We'll do a demo here.
So this thing, oh boy, here we go. Do not try this at home, kids, because it's probably dangerous. Super, super powerful. So powerful that you can do silly, silly things like this. I'm blowing things across my garage.
See, when you have the power of the move, anything's accomplishable. There you go. You saw it there first.
It's a great product. It's super strong. And like I said, I just blew things on the other end of my garage accidentally because it's so powerful.
Yeah, like honestly, for me, the cleaning capabilities of the blaster is unrivaled. Like I said, we used to bring out the whole compressor, have all the air attachments and all that crap. And now having the CowRC blaster, it has saved us on that tremendously. So now we can kind of like segue into a few other things. So you're huge into crawling, as you can tell. Size matters. How did that come about with you and your brother, I believe, right?
So no, it is not my brother. Just he's my best friend. We work together. And we've worked together for the last 11 years. We're super close. And we kind of started Size Matters by accident and kind of as a joke. We're so used to working on full-size vehicles and being mechanically inclined and being mechanics. It was like, oh, size matters, kind of as a joke. And I was like, you know what? We got into this RC thing. I was like, I'm going to start an Instagram page. I'm going to call it Size Matters and see what happens. And he got a logo made like 3 days after we made the page. And it just kind of took off from there. It was just kind of a why not moment. And size matters stuff. I spent one night sitting on the couch just seeing if anybody had the name or took the name or has used the name anywhere. I didn't see it. So I was like, all right, so size matters we are, and let's come up with a logo. And at first we had a vision of being a group of people and having kind of like Size Matters RC was a club. And that quickly faded to just me and John really running it and, taking it by the horns and, taking my, hey, buddy, we're going to start something on Instagram. And he's like, yeah, okay, sure. And here we are, over a year later, a year and a half later from starting Size Matters. And it's really taken off.
So you got the Size Matters. You definitely have a huge following. You have tons of content that you're producing. And honestly, the tips and the things that you're doing for the team are top tier. There's things that I'm going to use that you've already posted to try and make my content a little bit better. But the one thing is the T-Reel stuff and the hop-ups that you showcase and the products that you're using. Do most of your rigs have some sort of T-Reel components on them, or is it a specific type that T-Reel builds for?
No, so Trill does many, many different platforms. Most of my trucks, my crawlers, they make parts for, so most of them have full Trill kit. I just found that they are extremely reliable and quality part and company. I've never had an issue with any of their parts breaking. They look really good. I like to call it RC. And I will actually, my truck right here. I have my so this is G-Speed chassis, but it's full Trill. It's got the Trill axles, wheels, weights, everything. And it's just, it looks like a piece of jewelry. I don't know if you can tell from there. It's just super shiny. Everything is super clean. And it's because of the products that we use. This truck looks brand new and unused because I keep it clean and because I'm super meticulous. And as soon as I use it, it comes back to the pit area and gets wiped down immediately. Because let's be honest, these things aren't cheap. This hobby is not cheap. I don't care if you buy parts off of Amazon or you're buying parts from Trill or you're buying parts from, I don't know, space that costs $5 million. I don't care where you buy them from. You're going to go through them. You're going to break them. And it's going to be expensive. It is not a cheap hobby. But it can be an affordable hobby if you take care of your things. If you don't take care of them, you're going to soon realize that you hate the hobby because it is emptying your wallet, because you're not taking care of your things, and your rigs are going to break all the time. If you take care of your rig is going to take care of you. I've been very lucky with minimal breakage because I am so, I guess you could call me crazy with my trucks. They constantly get cleaned, constantly get preventative maintenance. The only one that gets like black is my TRX because I still swear that truck's indestructible and I'm gonna run it until I prove it's not.
Yeah, I would have to say that my workhorse is definitely my Traxxas. It has been through probably the most. And if anybody really wants to try something, I'm not going to give them my totally decked out 8-scale nitro fire breathing Dragon. I'm going to give them the Traxxas and just let them beat the snot out of it and have fun, because that is what's going to get them coming back for more and having tons of fun while doing it. I'm just going to keep segueing into a few more of your things. The Carry All RC. Carry All RC is one of those brands that is just phenomenal. Not only is it super cool in the hobby that you're in with the comp crawls and being out in the trails, I know he actually had the one magnetic mat made for the Carry All bag, which just kind of ties it all in together. And you know what? It is an awesome collab. And having a carry-all, not only does this keep you prepared out in the field, it's something that you can kind of enlighten us on, I'm sure.
So we would need a whole nother show to go through this entire, show you what's in here, because it is literally an entire shop worth of stuff in a bag.
Looks awesome.
What I love about this bag is I keep pretty much a spare of every tool, every driver. I have the DeWalt driver in here. I have a temp gun. I have a cordless Dremel in here. I have screw boxes. I have parts boxes. But what's great about it is that all sounds extremely heavy, right? Like I have 9 million things in here. Right. But I can download it and I can take certain things out as I see fit. So if say I'm going to UST in Florida, I'm going to pack this bag with every single thing that I can fit in it. Once I get there, if I'm going out on the trail, I can leave 80% of this bag at my pit and just bring the 20% of things that I absolutely need if my truck breaks on the trail.
Right.
That, my pit mat, some hand tools, and spare screws, and a couple spare parts. But this is the perfect size. This thing slides right into the back of my bag, and it's gone. It's mad. It's literally, it's gone. It sits right against my back. It stays flat. It doesn't deform. And then my rig hangs right off of here, attaches to the bag. So I'm not going to hang it now, but the truck would sit just like this on my back. So if we're going somewhere and I have a quarter mile or half a mile to walk before we even get to the spot, I'm just going to throw my truck on my back so my hands are free. And it also hangs my controller. But this is my workstation on the go. Same thing with my sling pack. This is their smaller version. It's a sling pack. I can fit a ton in this. It's got a water bottle pocket. I can fit a water bottle on the side. I use this for my 24th because my 24th hangs right here. And I work parts and tools in here. And I bring this to all the comps with me. I bring it on the trail with me. I actually have a second one that I keep my truck as a medical kit. And it has nothing RC related in it.
Nice. So that was a nice little segue into the carry-all. Carry-all is definitely a staple in your arsenal, as you can see. Now, the NSDRC, steering you in the right direction. What is that all about?
So NSDRC is a servo company that I am sponsored by, and they make, in my mind, absolutely insane servos. And this is just speaking from experience and speaking the truth. This is not saying any other, servo company is inferior, because we all know all too well about the servo wars. There are plenty of good companies out there. The reason why I stick with NSDRC is simple. It's customer service and it's quality. And it's the company that I bought my first, when I first started, I was one of those people that, I could get a servo on Amazon. But as I started building more serious rigs, I soon realized that those weren't holding up anymore. They didn't have the power that I needed. So I bit the bullet and decided to spend a little bit of money and get a quality servo, my first quality servo. After doing a lot of research, I was like, you know what? I'm going to try NSDRC. Just the one I'm going to try. And that's where I stuck. And that's why I said you're never going to hear me badmouth another servo company that I don't get into.
But from my experience, I have never had an issue with one of these servos, and I've also never experienced such power in some of these. So while I have this truck out, this has their micro winch in it, and it also has their RS1, which is their strongest servo. It's fast, it's strong. If you don't have your endpoint set correctly, I always say it's brake stuff strong. You will break things. It's a ESC powered servo, so I run a BEC with it, so it gets the correct voltage because I run it at 8.4 volts. The next step, I would say next step down, but it's not really when you look at the numbers. The RS 800, that's a direct power servo. They're just quality servos. The customer service is great. It's a great team to be on. Everybody's super friendly, and I haven't had an issue. And like I said, everybody has their own opinion, and nobody's wrong. There's a lot of great companies out there, and I really just support NSDRC because, I mean, they have supported me, and none of their stuff has let me down, and nothing has broken on me. They are fantastic. And I use it in my micro. The micros all have NSDRC micro servos.
So with the one in the bad boy rig right beside you, what is the torque rating at 8.4? Because that's got to be off the charts.
Don't quote me, but I want to say it's like 12 or 1,300 ounces at 8.4.
That's insane. Because like for our rigs, like basically I think 400 would be the max. Just to give you a comparison, racing to crawling. Just for anybody that's not in that crawl realm, that is an extreme amount of torque.
It's brake stuff. They're extremely strong, and we've actually put them on a testing board, and we've pulled higher numbers. It's just, what they're rated for is an average.
Yes.
I've seen them pull more than that. So definitely super strong servos and reliable. And as we talked about before, if there was something bad or something we didn't like, we're going to say it because that's the only way a company gets better. I like being honest and open and building the RC community. And the companies that we support, I've never seen anything negative. And that's why I wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't be talking about companies if I didn't.
Yeah, no, me neither. And honestly, I think we're both on the same page when it comes to promoting the hobby in the best possible light we can. And we're going to use the experiences that we have and the products that we've trusted over time and build up a rapport with. And honestly, you can tell that you're passionate about that stuff because they've offered you all the years of fun, and the support sounds like it's fantastic. And I already know what the support's like from Heath, and moving forward with that. I'm going to say that we went a half hour over. I don't mean to keep you much later, but is there anybody else that you would like to thank or talk about before we do cut you loose, bud?
I just want to give a shout out to another team, Joe Ropes.
Okay.
He supplies us with all our lanyards. Another great company. If you're not checking him out, check him out. Mark from Crawler Cult RC. I don't know if you've seen what Crawler Cult's doing. They are the dark black sheep and rock and roll side of RC. We'll put it that way. He's got some awesome stuff over there. Awesome swag, stickers, scale. We'll say scale stuff. That's not what he calls it, but you could think of another S word. But he is a very nice person. Just great to get along with. And our local hobby shop, RC Mysteries. That's it, man. Because you hit on all the other sponsors. We hit on Cap. And I want to give you a shout out because what you're doing is just absolutely awesome. We're pushing, you're pushing this community to the next level. You're just somebody I look up to, and I am very honored to be a guest on your show.
Oh, dude, I appreciate you coming on board. And like I said, for the giveaway, I'm not happy with the amount of things. Most of my viewers listen to their podcast on the way to work or from home from work. So what I think we're going to do is we're actually going to make sure that the word gets out for the $50 giveaway for the CowRC.com website. And we're going to open it up for a few days, if you don't mind. And then we'll give it away to somebody who deserves it. Because I think that the comments will start flowing in once more people watch it. Because we've only gotten up to 15 viewers. So I think that with only 15 people, typically I get 250 to 500. So we got to let it ride for a little bit if you're okay with that. And then that way I'll forward you some of the comments that I think are notables. And we'll get the ball rolling. We'll have some fun with it.
Absolutely. There is no rush to get this out. I want somebody to really come up with something unique and different and really deserve that win.
Heck yeah, man. And it would be even better if it's somebody that hasn't experienced the CowRC goodness, because then they can go on the site, check it all out, and actually get to experience it firsthand for themselves. But, man, I got to say, give your show a shout out too, because I know that you're starting it out, and we'll get you in contact with Jeff for the graphics.
Absolutely. So our show is called Monday Night Mashup. It's live every Monday night, 8 p.m. on Instagram. And it's called Monday Night Mashup because there's no plan. We come on Monday night, 8 p.m., and we might have a truck to unbox, or we might have an idea of what we want to talk about that night, but we have no planned guest. And that's because you guys are the guests. You send us a request to join during our show, and we will bring you on to talk about whatever you want to talk about RC related, even if it's semi-RC related. And it's just to give everybody a voice and give everybody a platform. Whether you've been in the hobby for 6 days or 60 years, we want to give everybody a voice and a chance to give their opinion, to toss around ideas and network, and really just grow the community and be a strong point in the community.
Nice. I'm definitely going to have to heckle you guys. I'm going back to day shift now, so Monday night matchup. So you heard it here first. Craig, man, I appreciate you spending some time with me, and you know what? Fantastic product demos. Your space looks styled, and I can't wait to see it on your show with your partner in crime. But until then, man, I just got to say thank you, and we will see you next time.
Thank you very much. Take care, everybody.
All right, cheers. All right, man, that was Craig from Size Matters RC, killing it for me. Man, the product demos, the hooting and hollering, the chance to give away something cool back to you guys, the viewers. So like I was saying, it's a $50 gift card that you can use on your order at CowRC.com. You'll see it down in the banner. But not only that, all we're asking for is a cool cow-related comment. So there was a couple there that you have for references with something like "Moo ya, move over." I seen a couple other good ones, but definitely hit me up with those comments, and best one is going to win the actual gift certificate. We will give you the code for that until next weekend, where we can bring you some more cool Canadian RC content. We will see you guys later. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers.